everybody, so this is my week 6 video. Of course, continuing the discussion topic of journalism, and I chose to discuss the title of it on that website was Deep Throat and His Motives. But it's pretty much going into the Watergate scandal that happened involving President Nixon. Somewhere it was around 1972 to 1974. Yeah, because 1974 is when he resigned. But pretty much, if you don't know what the Watergate scandal is, what happened was, I think it was about June 17th, some burglars were caught, in the Watergate building of DC. They were attempting to wiretap phones and steal secret documents. But this just wasn't any other robbery. It wasn't just these random people trying to get this information. These were actually people who were connected to his re-election campaign. So I guess you could assume that they were getting that information for him, or making it so that he could listen to all the conversations going on, etc. All that good stuff. Whatever it was, all of it was to be, I assume, in Nixon's favor, or at least what he thought would be in his favor. People weren't really sure if Nixon knew about this before it happened, but he definitely took steps to cover himself afterwards. He raised a lot of, quote, hush money for the burglars so that they wouldn't talk, and he also tried to stop the FBI from investigating further into the case. I'm sorry, I keep looking down, I wrote notes on it. But as well as trying to get the FBI to not further go into the investigation, he would also where is it? He would destroy evidence, and he would also fire any staff member who wasn't being cooperative or wasn't doing anything in his favor. And I remember talking about this in history class back in high school, because I remember us discussing that once Nixon handed over the tapes to the FBI, there would just be blank, just sections of blank where you could tell that someone obviously deleted tape or blanked it out, something like that. But eventually all of this, like, I guess it just, as much as he tried to cover it up, it didn't work. So in 1974, in August, he resigned. But I remember this as well from high school. As soon as he resigned, his successor, who was Gerald Ford, immediately gave him a pardon for all the crimes he had or had not committed. So whether he did it, which he did, or did not, he was pardoned either way. So he never got rightful punishment for it. But the whole Watergate scandal itself definitely changed American politics forever. It basically it made the people question their leadership more and think more critically about the presidency. All of the things that make somebody worthy to be a president. If they're trustworthy, if their plans for the future are ones that would benefit the United States, stuff like that, which I think that is really great. Anytime we the people should question whoever is in power and see if they deserve to be in power and see if they are fit to be in power. But along with it changing politics, it also had a huge effect on the journalism aspect of it as well. And the whole issue that came up with that is the anonymous. The guy's name was Mark Felt. He didn't come out until 30 plus years later as his actual identity, but they disguised him and kept him anonymous through the, I don't want to say code name, I guess the pen name of Deep Throat. And the two, the two editors, I think so, was Woodward and Bernstein's. Carl Bernstein and Bob Woodward. But with all of this happening, it did increase enrollment in journalism schools, which I actually thought was really cool. I didn't know that at all. One of the questions that was asked on this this article that was given to us, it says, is protecting a source more important than revealing all relevant information about a news story? And the way I feel about it is, if it's something this big, I mean, if it's something going against the president and giving out secret information against the president, keeping that person anonymous would be very beneficial for the safety of that person. So if you wanted to keep getting that information, you'd want to keep them anonymous so that they can keep giving you information. Because if you give their identity away, you know, there are going to be some people who are really mad, and then they'll try to get after them, and then there goes your source of information. Let's see. Another thing that it mentioned was the credo of granting anonymity, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that, to a source is a vow that should never be broken. That was one ethical issue about it. And the other was, at odds with the first, is that a journalist's primary duty is to reveal information and not conceal it. So it's kind of like, if you are, I'm sorry, how do I put this? You kind of have to go against yourself, or at least these two men had to go against themselves or what they thought was ethical, because in one case it's a vow to keep someone anonymous, but in the other thing, in being a journalist and being in the journalism business, if that's a thing, you're supposed to reveal information and not keep it to yourself. But yeah, so that was my topic for the upcoming paper. If you guys have any questions, I guess all I did was Google Watergate scandal, and it just pages upon pages of information. It all gets really repetitive, but it's very, very interesting, and I don't say really enlightening, but it's just something good to know that happened in history. But I think that's all for now. Thank you for watching.